these for me. But you don't have to like tie them. You just pull this and it ties them for you.
For like a little kid?
Yeah. I don't have to tie my shoes anymore. It's really great.
I'm so glad that I got this on camera. Like I'm recording. I'm so glad.
They're good.
Look. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put it back. Like.
Yeah, look. Okay, so you pull this and it tightens them. And if you want to release it, you just pull it. It's like new school kicks.
It's for little kids. It's like my little kid shoes. He said I don't have to retie.
You don't have to retie. I gotta retie my baits enough.
He said oh, it's late.
That's a swivel. That's a swivel.
He's got a swivel. He's got a swivel for a shoe.
Heck yeah.
He said, I ain't got to retie. I just put a swivel on.
Yeah.
No, it's a snap.
Yes.
I don't even have to retie, just put some snaps on it.
So bad.
Huh? Dude, it's Bassinger therapy. We don't do anything freaky. Dude, this ain't.
What's up? Let's do it by the campfire.
We will the other night.
Yeah, we do it tonight.
We do it tonight without, like, we need lights in Jason's face.
So where am I?
Right here beside me.
Oh, I'm in between the two. Big T and little T. LC.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Don't lean back, then you're going to go to sleep.
I'm staying right where I'm at. I can do that when you weigh in 43 pounds.
You didn't weigh in 43.
Felt
Weighed in 34. It's not even. Dude, you're 9 pounds off.
I did for 3 days.
I mean, if you're gonna lie, go ahead and talk about it. If y'all don't realize, Jason,
Yeah.
so Derek Mundy dropped a 39-pound bag on day 2.
With a 13-pounder.
Yeah, dropped one of the biggest bags, and of course Jason couldn't do that. So Jason had to figure out another record to break, and Jason figured it out. What did you do, Jason? What did you do? You did the biggest what?
Come back of the century.
Century.
Of the century.
He said,
That's 100 years, Bo.
yeah.
You damn right it is.
He was in the 155th place.
No, 158th.
Oh, okay.
Get it right.
He caught 2 for 5.
I saw you had 2 fish first day.
For 5 pounds.
514.
You know what I was thinking?
Hey, no.
I was thinking about our tournament when we were there for the Open, and everybody else was kind of having a good time, and you and I were on the phone every day, during the tournament. Going, God, dude, we're getting killed.
Yeah.
We're getting killed. And I was like, poor guys going through it again.
Hey.
Oh, I was bad. When after that tournament that afternoon, when I pulled up on land and was getting a bag, I was ready to give every box in my boat away.
Hey, he goes, you had 2 for 5? And then later on he was like, yeah, man, I caught this big one, like a 4.5. I'm like, so you had a 4.5 and you still had 2 for 5?
Hey, I caught big ones this week and little ones.
That's
Real little ones.
Nothing in between. You never had a 3-pounder, did you?
That one, the first day. That one that was 4.
No, that's not a 3.
You had
big ones.
I see what you're.
You
Not
had
over
big
3.
ones and real little ones. Like they had to measure every one of yours.
Well, I will say
That was
this. When I turned on the internet on day 2,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, Monday done crushed on them. And then I was like, boom!
Yeah. Nah.
But hey, he weighed in 34, and they had to measure one of his fish.
Yeah. Mark goes. Mark.
They bumped one of them?
Mark. Yeah, they got
They had
measures.
to.
He goes. Mark goes. You got 5 in there? I said, yeah, I got 5. He goes, man, you got 4 big ones. He said, what about that guy? I said, don't worry about that little guy. I said, don't talk about that little guy.
That was the male, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah,
that was just
lined up.
little.
Yeah,
that
all
was
lined up.
That was just. Whoa.
That male had them all lined up.
All on one bed.
All on one bed.
All in one bed.
Going back to the century.
So I looked on Facebook and I saw Monday busted, it was 39. Because that was all over Facebook at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah,
time
they
it
let
was.
him away.
Yeah, they let him away early.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't even know Bonds had caught a big bag until Holman sent out this group text to everybody saying, "Oh, boss just busted them." I was like, "Wait, what? I'm money busted. What is there a typo? Because I don't remember Bob taking about 5 pounds of
Yeah, well, at least my buddies found out about it. This is my wife. So she, my brother, he was fishing the co-angler side, and she was more concerned with him day 2 because he was, I think, in
I don't know what that means.
12th or whatever it was. Don't matter. And the next day, I think he caught 7 pounds or whatever, and she was like, well, she seen that whatever place he was in and turned it off. Didn't even worry about me. Then somebody called her.
She turned it off.
Yeah.
And walked away.
Yeah.
She's like, eh.
She didn't watch it.
Because you'd already weighed your 2 fish for 5 yesterday.
She knew. She knew I was ready to be done with that tournament.
Yeah.
So that's not like y'all have like that right there. That is the cherry. That 34 pounds is the cherry on top of that second place. I had the day 2 and day 3 was 2 good days of fishing.
Okay, hold on. Before we talk about day 3, let's talk about day 2. Let's talk about day 2 morning.
Oh no, we're fixing to tell the whole. This is telling the whole story here. So Sunday, I just got my boat back. And I was like, well, I need to go take it out Sunday and go run it and just see, make sure everything is working right. So go out fish a half a day Sunday. Everything was good. So I thought Monday I was good to go. I had a little bit of business to take care of, so I rolled out there about 11 Monday morning. Made it past the no wait buoys, ran about 400 yards, and my boat shut down. Fuel pump went out. So I just sit there on the trolling motor and fish.
Ain't nothing like the old Evinrude.
That's right. Sit there and fish for the next 4 or 5 hours, all in just one little cove. And I was like, well, next morning I woke up Tuesday, carried it to the shop, got it fixed. Fred
Comes through again.
Diamond Sports comes through.
Marine.
That's right. Comes through again and got me back fishing. And Wednesday, walk out to my truck about 5:30 that morning. Press start, and all the lights on the dash light up. Every alarm, every sensor, everything is out. My truck wouldn't start. So I sat around there until 7 o'clock and finally got started, carried it to the shop, got another truck, went fishing till I guess about 3 o'clock. Got on the water about 9, fished to about 3:30. And that's about all the practice I got.
So apparently that's all you needed.
Well, I guess.
First day of the tournament practice.
Yeah, he needed to figure around on day 1 a little bit.
No doubt. But day one was started out good. I thought it did. I caught 2 pretty quick, and then I lost the big one, a real big one. And then I go to a couple more spots, and I lose another really big one. I was like, no big deal. Surely I can get a limit 13, 14 pounds. It's whatever. What I was thinking. No, got 2 fish for 5.14. Ready to give a boat away, all my tackle away, the hell with fishing. And then comes day 2. Get there early, get my co-angler.
You did leave early that morning.
Yes, I did.
I don't know why.
He's on a mission.
He's ready to trade in all his equipment.
I was ready to get day 2 over with. And anyway, my co-angler, he's there, pick him up, back down to the ramp. And this handing my key fob. I said, hey, you're gonna need this. Handing my key fob, said, put it in your pocket. He backs me in the water. I take the boat off. I go over there and park. Or I go through boat check, and I go over there and park. And we're 30 minutes before time. We go through the national anthem prayer. They start calling numbers.
He ain't back yet.
No. And I'm like, well, whatever. We got plenty of time until they get to about 100. Now I'm like, where's my coin there? But day 1 didn't go as planned, so I really wasn't worried about it at all. And about 150. I was boat 178. He still went back. So I got up on the back seat and I'm like, well, maybe he'll see me down here. Because I was the only guy on the bank. The only boat. Still no boat or co-angler. I was like, well, 178 they call. I was like, huh. Okay, no big deal. The cove is empty.
They all gone.
They're all gone. Still. I'm like, nothing. I hear Mark over there. Mark McGraw and all them on the boat, on the check-in boat, you know. Who's that over there? What's that guy still doing here? I'm sitting there on my back seat just waiting for my co-angler. Where's he at? Well, I look at my phone. He tried to call. Like a minute ago. And this is 10 minutes after they have called the last boat. I was like, hey, what's up? He goes, man, I'm sorry. Hate to tell you this. And I'm thinking the worst. He done ran into somebody else's truck, trailer, done something.
All right.
Man, I lost your key fob. I'm like, you did what? Yeah, I lost it. I said, man, I told you to put it in your pocket. Right when you was in my truck. I know, I'm sorry. You know, I was like, I tell you what. I said, keep looking for it. I said, call me if you can't find it. No, I'll find it for you. I was like, man, I don't care. I will sit here an hour, 2 hours, whatever. I did not care at that point. I was like, whatever. Day one was shot. I was like, whatever, dude. So I was like, man. So this, about 10 or 15 minutes later, here he comes.
15 minutes later.
Yeah, we was 20.
So he's been looking for this for an hour, basically.
Probably.
By time?
Yeah, a good 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's say a good 45 minutes. 20 minutes after they call the last boat, you know, he comes walking down the deal. And I'm not right beside the dock. I'm set over to the left of where, but plenty of where you can see me. I'm not in the woods. He comes walking straight down from the pavilion, and I see him. I was like, oh, okay. I start looking at my phone or doing something else, you know, or maybe getting ready to get my life jacket on. I think that's what I done.
Yeah, because I mean, you
yes,
time is an essence
that's right.
at this point.
That's right.
I was like, you're gonna speed things up a little bit here.
I was like, man. And then I sit down and I look up because I'm thinking he should be here. I look up and I don't see him. I mean, gone. I look over at the dock.
Where's Mark and all them at this point?
I didn't know if he just walked off that dock and just kept going. I did not know where this guy went. I swear.
Swamp thing.
I had no idea. I was like, man, what is going on? So I hollered a couple times. Woo! Woo! He didn't holler. He didn't do nothing. I was like, man, surely he's behind a tree or something right there. Nothing. I was like, man, I'll call this guy. So, hey, where you at? I was walking around. Over here to the dock by side. I said, man, I told you I was down here by the dock. We're at the check-in boat. Oh, okay. I'll be there in a minute. All right. Still more time, you know. I'm thinking.
So now you are an hour.
Yeah, close.
For the time you unloaded your boat off the trailer.
Close.
Oh yeah,
that's close. I'm still expecting him to come by the pavilion. I hear something coming through the woods. He's coming through the woods too.
You know the wood.
I know the woods between the ramp and the pavilion.
Yes, he's coming through the woods. I mean, through the pine trees.
through the
not down
the trail.
Through the thorn bushes.
And I was like, man, this is. Oh well, you know, hey.
I can see, but I can't.
You know,
did you take your eyes off of him?
I screwed the pooch day one. I'm not going to be in a bad
Did
mood.
you take your eyes off of him at this point?
No, I did not.
You.
He come down. He come down. He come down there and gets like plain view. I was sitting there looking at him just like I'm looking at our cabin right there, plain view. And he starts looking around. I say, whoa, I'm right here, dude. Oh, okay. Oh. He comes on down there and gets in the boat.
The only boat on the bay.
Yeah.
Camouflage.
Dude, I'm like, yeah. He comes, gets on it, and I was like, he goes, where are we going? I said, man, I don't, we just might go right here to the dam. I was like,
well, hold on.
What?
Did he ever find a key fob?
Oh, yeah, he found it. It was in his pocket. The whole time. I forgot about that. The whole time. He goes, man, I said, where was that key fob? It was in my pocket the whole time. I swear to God. I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So then,
Are you serious?
I'm not making that up.
I'm not making that up. So this day was destined for Big Bang.
It had nowhere else to go. It was already down there. It was already at the bottom. It was already at the bottom of the pit.
There's still more good stuff though. Listen, I gotta.
I'm sure because there's probably things I have.
Yeah, you don't really. This is the best part. So I was like, about 34 pounds in like. He's like, yeah, I got a small one in there. And I'm like, all right. So I know Jason really well, and he's telling a story to some people. And I'm like, this ain't the truth. Like, I'm just, I know. Like, I know where he called him. I know everything. And he starts telling the story. I'm like, this is good. Lie. And he was like, yeah, man. So I went out there and I fished the grass and I caught these fish on a red eye and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, he didn't. He's like, yeah, I caught a limit and then I went and caught these big ones. And I'm like, whatever. No, he didn't. There's no way. And I talked to him and I'm like, why are you telling people? He goes, I did. I went and caught a limit on a red eye. I'm like, so you're telling me you went and caught a limit of fish on a red eye in the grass, in your smallest one they had to measure, and you culled 4 of them to get that one in your bag. Think about that, guy. Do you understand what I'm saying? He had a limit. How in the world can you catch 5 fish on a red eye in the grass, and your biggest one is a 14 1/4? And I was like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, keep going with the story then. Because I was like, there's no, I thought he was lying. He's like, no, that was true. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
I had me limit on the red eye. That's why I was like, man, I'm going to go out.
But that's impossible.
I was trying, after day 1, everybody called these fish on.
Did you mess up during the calling process? Like
Listen,
when you started catching bigs, you just like chucking 2-pounders?
Yeah,
listen what I'm going to tell you. So after day 1, I was ready. Like, I know everybody caught fish on rattle traps. And like I was ready to like go out there on the end of that point and dump $5,000 worth of rattle traps out on in San Rayburn. I was that pissed. I was that mad. And so the next day, day 2, I was like, man, I'm late. I was like, I'm gonna figure this thing out. So I'm gonna go catch me a limit on this stupid rattle trap. I said, that's what I'm gonna do. That's all I care about. So I did about an hour. By 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, I had a limit. I was like,
9 o'clock, because he didn't get out there till.
yeah, that's probably right. Probably 9 o'clock. Probably 9 o'clock, 9:30. I was like, man. I was like, well, I called limit. I was like, I was pretty. Let me tell you, I was proud of that limit. I was. So I was like,
No
where can I go? No,
You don't know what to believe. Like they don't.
8.5 pounds.
No. But y'all don't understand. Like I can't even, like, it's going to take too long. It's a whole nother episode for, like, people are going to be like, that guy's full of it, that he's proud of that limit.
I was.
Yeah, but they don't, like, people don't realize that because, like, me and you understand this. Like, because we don't do this on, like,
I was. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, that goes to that limit. Maybe I called one time and I was like, well, I got to thinking about some of these places, like, where things are kind of are now, like the grass and
he ain't
the
gonna tell us shit.
No.
Nothing's coming out of this.
No, that's all right.
Code talk.
You don't have to. Yeah. No, I'll tell you that. And the reason he's going to take this is because we can, like, fast forward through all that stuff. Because he's not going to tell anyone.
What?
He told everyone on stage he's not going to tell anyone how he caught him.
Yeah.
That's and granted, that's why day 3 rolls around. and he told everyone on day 2.
You're going to sit here in front of this camera and lie about the BFE?
No, he's not going to lie about it. But he's going to be like,
you're going to lie about the BFE on this camera.
the BFE.
Yeah.
They were like
flipping and
to millions of people.
They were scared. They're like, you're not. Because me and him talked for 2 hours on the phone that night.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and I was like, man, all right. I didn't want him to fish it because I know it. Like we freaking catch fish off this. I'm like, I don't want you to fish it, But
He's like,
but I said, but I was like, man, in the back of my head, I was like, man, I don't want Jason to ever regret this decision. And I'm like, so I came up with the most phenomenal way for him to fish the spot. Did I not? Like, I had it all mapped out. Okay, you do. I told him like step by step how to do this. And I'm like, no one will ever know. Like you can do this. And he's like, after the whole story, I'm like, I'm pretty proud of this. Like he can do this. And his co-angler won't figure it out. There's the guys following him won't know. Like he's like, I'm not gonna go do that, dude. Just forget it. I'm just gonna go fishing. I was like, all right, cool. So he just,
that's what I did. I had my mind made up that day when I was in second, and I knew it. Like knew at the end of the deal, because I was one of the last ones to weigh in that day. I was in second, and I was like, man, I gotta make a decision. And everybody's like, people was coming up. It was like, man, are you gonna bust them tomorrow? Or I was like, nope. I said, I'm not. Is that what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna go try to catch 15 pounds out of the grass. I said, if I catch 15 pounds out of the grass, I am going to stay in second. I said, I'll walk away with a good check. I don't give away anything. I said, nobody gets to see nothing.
remember, he's 12 pounds. So we talked about like, okay, we did all the math too. He's 12 pounds out.
So what did you lose by? Because you caught 18 on day 3. How much did you lose?
No, he caught 16. He caught
something.
Derek caught 18.
Derek caught 18.
He lost by 14 pounds.
Yes.
And so here's the scenarios.
Two things had to happen.
Yes.
Day 3, 2 things had to happen. I had to bust a big giant bag,
30.
another 30,
Right.
and he had to catch 18 too.
Yeah.
You know, so 2 things had to happen. But if he goes out there and catches 20, 25, whatever, I've got to go bust a
40.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, I'm not wasting. I'm not taking a chance.
Okay,
I'm
so,
not wasting
yo,
a 30-pound bag and showing stuff up. Or
For still second.
For still second.
And I was like, okay,
I'm not
so
doing
here's
it.
the bad part. He starts there, right? Never catches a fish. Gives the spot away. Right? Now he catches nothing there. He gives the spot away, and now he might not even finish second.
Right.
So now it's the worst of all of everything. And I'm like, then he goes out there and catches 30 off of it. Monday goes out there and catches 20. He busts 30 pounds, shows the spot away, still comes in second.
Yeah.
And so every time we talked forever, and I'm like, and we both were like, God dang, man, there was one scenario where you win, and it is like, it's a dream. And we were right, dude. Monday went out there and caught 18 pounds. Like that was a big bag because he was 12 pounds out. He still had to go catch 30. And those guys were like, oh, you can catch 30. Well, Monday just crushed 40.
And he caught 18.
And he caught a 10-pounder on his last cast.
Yeah.
He was one cast away from catching 8 to 10 pounds. So, or about 10 pounds. So I'm like, man, we all know the wind was blowing. Like there was a lot of stuff that was going to be bad about the situation. And I was like, man, you do what you think you need to do. And he's like, all right, I know. So, and we had fished enough tournaments together already this year that like, and I had already caught him pretty good. Like we kind of knew like, hey man, you can just go do your thing and catch your weight. You're going to come in second.
Yeah.
And catch it and be fine. And like a lot of money. And he came from it wasn't like he was in second on day 1 and had a chance to win. He was in 155th place and came back to second place. So like you're already kind of thinking you got a gift. Like I was just
When I was in I was like, I can't go below 10. I was like, man, hell, I was like, I can't go below 10. I can't mess up.
His day 2 co-angler, by the way, went around and told everyone. Yeah. Like he got 4 or 5 people come up to him and was like, "Hey man, you need to go tell your guy to be quiet because he's going around telling everyone all kinds of stuff.
What I caught,
what he caught him on, where, all kinds of stuff." And I mean, so dude, it worked out. Like
no, it worked out. It worked out just fine. It really did. You know, then I calls it a 9.
It was a 9.
I'm gonna call it a 10.
You can call it
whatever you want. He wasn't there. I seen it.
Well, if you put it on a scale, it didn't weigh 10. It weighed 9 something.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, it's That's what
I
happened.
still think your hat stands for Little Todd Cassadine.
That's right.
LTC.
LTC.
Little
Todd
TC.
Cassadine.
LTC.
I can't-
How many
I-
different
listen,
colors?
I'm not there.
How many different colors do you have of that?
Oh, a bunch, because he
Oh,
likes
gosh.
Like 4.
he highlights
I got
the T
like
on
4.
there too.
Does
On
he?
some of them, yeah.
It does not stand for Todd,
It's
Little
like
Todd
it's like the big,
Cassadine.
it's like the big Todd. The big
That's what I
Todd.
heard. And it's Big Todd too. Like he puts Big T on there.
Yeah. I remember when it says BTC.
What is that? Yeah. Whatever.
Little Todd. Little Tad.
And now we all back.
Y'all gonna make it a year fishing together?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't
know if
Somebody's
he will.
either gonna get murdered. They're gonna have a breakup.
We had a tough time.
Or they're gonna
today.
win a lot
We had
of
tough
stuff.
time
Man,
today.
it was, yeah, but we did have a tough time.
We had a good time, and then it was a lot of quiet time.
Yeah.
A lot of quiet
That
time.
needs some quiet time. So
No,
who needed the
it was
quiet
like,
time?
because, listen, I was here in October.
I felt bad for y'all too, guys. Not gonna lie. I told Jason, I said, dude, I felt bad for y'all.
For driving all this way, and it was like this.
Because we thought it was good. Like, and everyone was like, dude, it's been the most phenomenal. And then all of a sudden, he goes, it's been horrible for 3 days.
Yeah.
And we're like, and no one knew. Like, it just came out of nowhere.
Called it.
This whole plan started with Holman. I picked up the phone and I said, hey, you got a little lake in southeastern Oklahoma. It's kind of halfway for all of us. Called Broken Bow. I said, we catch some fish down there at Broken Bow if we'd all meet, make some videos. Be about 3 or 4 hours for each one of us. Somebody says, let's go to Mexico, South Texas. Be warm. Guaranteed to catch them.
We might not even talk about this. Like, we're not even going to tell the name of this. Like, but I will say one thing. We had a lot of other stuff lined up. It didn't work. But what killed me on Broken Boat was when me and Andrew were on the phone with him. He goes, well, I mean, we might only catch 2 or 3 one day, but I mean, we'll.
No,
whoa.
they put me on the spot.
Whoa,
This is
Andrew,
what they asked
2
me.
to 3 a day?
These
Oh,
two
yeah.
guys asked me, and they
A
said,
day?
no. They said, Holman, can you guarantee we're going to catch them? We've all been fishing. Where on earth can you guarantee
Here,
that
we're going to catch them. It just might not be like.
It didn't happen today.
No. We
We
caught
caught
40
like 40
fish.
fish.
We caught 40
We
fish.
caught like 40 fish.
Yeah, we could have
Yeah.
done that Broken Bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we caught like 40 fish.
No, we're like, so you got to realize that where we were trying to go was like next level. Like we had this place which was pretty high up there.
Yeah.
And then we had the place Andrew was working on, which was
Which
right
was-
here.
oh, yeah.
And then the one I was working
They
on
were
was
all
like
private.
Well, yeah.
Private.
Yeah.
Hey.
Heck yeah.
hey,
why not?
dude. Let me ask you. I don't care. Okay.
He don't care. He don't care. Hey, he don't care.
He don't care.
Hey, Lil Todd, he don't care.
Neely Henry, fall.
Lil TC.
Louisville, fall. Cherokee, fall.
Man,
You want me to keep going?
Hammer holes, everyone.
Hammer holes. None of us can hardly catch a limit. Listen, we did enough of the hardest fishing we've ever done.
No doubt. I agree with that.
Yes, I apologize if I want to go someplace to catch them.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? It's January and it's freaking cold. We did 5 months of not catching them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I want to plan something. We never, everywhere we go, every once in a while we go some places. Texoma's one of them.
Wait till y'all
I'm
see
saying.
these videos from
Listen.
like El Salto.
Texoma's one of them, right?
Yeah.
We go to Texoma, and as soon as we get to Texoma, how's Texoma when we get there usually?
Usually really good when we show
And what
up
do we do every
off the
time?
chain.
And what do we do every time?
We go, it's too
And
dang
shake 'em
good
off.
and it's going to be terrible.
And we
like
shake
that.
every one of them off, right? We actually never
I finish
catch
11th
anything.
every time I go there. Literally every
I
single
finished
time.
11th there too.
I finished there 11th there 3 times.
But we
What?
Swear to God, 3 times.
I've
in
done it
12
once, so you didn't do it that one time.
3 freaking times.
You
I
didn't do it
finished
that one
11th.
time. I did it one time.
Okay, 3 of the 4 times I've been there,
I
I
did
finished
it the other
11th.
time.
Literally 11th.
I
Never
finished
finished
11th and
anywhere
2nd.
else.
That's really bad.
Yeah, like never anywhere else, but 11th there 3 times.
But I'm telling you, man, like, I wanted to go somewhere where we actually caught them from day one. Like, we didn't go there and like, hey, this is awesome, and shake them all off. I wanted to go catch them for once. Because all we ever do is shake fish off, and then we try to figure out how to catch 34 pounds with a 2-pounder. Like, he caught like...
Not even a 2-pounder.
Yeah,
Not
he didn't
even a
catch 5
2-pounder.
on day one.
No, I didn't.
No, wait, you said
I didn't-
5? He didn't
oh.
catch 3 on day 1.
That's true, he catch 3.
That's right. I
That's
didn't.
right.
I didn't need to.
And you finished second, which
I didn't
is
need to.
hilarious.
I didn't
It's
need
like I was just saving them for day 2 so people could follow me.
I didn't
Hey,
need to catch them day one.
let me tell you something. I'm bringing this up. I'm throwing a teaser out there, guys. You want to know my teaser? Get ready for this next Bad Singer Therapy. It's going to be a doozy. We might get kicked off.
Did you say doozy?
He just said doozy.
You darn right I did.
Darn right. You gonna start right, I did.
Dude, we might get banned from every tournament. Like,
He said doozy, and I'm drinking ultras.
We're gonna talk about stuff, and then I'm throwing this out there. I've got to send a text message, a screenshot of a text message to a tournament director tomorrow. That's what I get to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's how bad that is. That's gonna be our next Bad Singer Therapy. Me and you talked about this for a while.
I'm calling it right now. Nothing will happen.
No. We know nothing. No, that's the whole Bad Singer Therapy is. It will be titled "Nothing Will Ever Happen." That's what it'll be titled. Here is 1,000%. How do we want to just call it? Undisputed cheating.
Truth. I'd say undisputed truth.
Yeah, and nothing will ever happen.
I mean, like cheating. Like we could call a lot of things cheating. But like,
if the camera's not on, do we call it cheating? If the camera's not
happened.
If the camera's not on, do it.
Whole sitting's cheating.
Okay, is whole sitting's
cheating.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what y'all are talking about, but I know
that's what it's going to be about, and we're going to talk about it.
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing that it's cheating or not cheating. It's just the fact that we'll let everybody else that's watching decide what's cheating.
Yeah, we'll explain it all.
I mean, like, you call it what you
all.
want to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is what happened.
That's going to be the next one. We're not going to do it now. That's going to be the next one.
Whole sitting's cheating. Y'all talk about whatever you want.
It's and actually the title of the episode is going to be the unenforceable rule.
That's a good name. It's a good title.
Yeah, that is.
Because we've talked about it, and it's impossible. It's a rule that needs to be taken away.
So what we learned tonight on Bad Singer Therapy is that it is imperative that our co-angler get lost somewhere between parking the truck and our boat.
Yeah.
We should not get excited and just whatever happens. Sit on the back deck and wave everybody goodbye.
No, you had a phenomenal video the other day, right? About the back of the boat.
Yeah.
Did you talk about any of this? Because if not, your video is horrible.
Well, I didn't know anything about it.
Well, no, then you didn't do your research.
No,
you didn't do your research.
So I've got the series going on though. I'm going to get into. So I've got a lot of comments and everybody. Right now we're just on how bad boaters are. That's where we're at in the series.
How bad boaters are?
Yeah, they're terrible, and that's where we are in the series. So,
dude, I'm all about that because I agree with them.
We're going to go full circle. It's on both sides of the boat.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question
yeah.
seriously? No, what are you looking at me for? No, I'm going to say something. This is out there.
It's out there.
It's out there. Do you think there's more bad boaters or bad co-anglers?
That could be debated for a long time.
We actually had this conversation right here. We both decided there's more bad boaters than there are bad co-anglers.
I agree.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
I think there's more uneducated co-anglers because they just don't know any better.
There you go.
Great answer.
But I think
uneducated.
That's what it is. It's uneducated.
Well, I wouldn't say
it's uneducated. Inexperienced.
I call it, but I use it's ignorance. Is what it is. But then if you call someone ignorant,
yeah, you can't say that. No.
But all ignorance is uneducated.
No, inexperienced. Inexperienced is
inexperienced. Yeah, like
because they just don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
But pros, considered pros,
they should
boaters,
know. They know.
But
they
if
know
they
and they
fish
choose.
more than a couple, they should know better.
Yeah.
But if you treat somebody like shit, you can't expect somebody to treat you nice.
Yeah.
Like that's just.
I don't even think it's about treating them nice.
No,
it's
there's
like,
enough of them that treat them like crap. Like, dude, I get so many co-anglers get my boat, but like, man, you're like one of the nicest pros I've ever had. And I'm like, I haven't even said anything. Like, I'm just.
Now, I will admit, like, and I've told y'all this. There's times when, like, I don't say anything.
Yeah, but you're rude though.
It's not rude. I just don't talk.
I mean, I wouldn't say you were. I'm just saying you are.
I get tunnel vision and I just go,
I get it.
There's time, but I'm not rude. Like,
but
there's guys out there
okay,
like, don't step in my boat with dirty feet. Like, I'm like, I always tell them, do whatever you want to do. Bring as many rods.
Oh yeah, I heard the guys say wipe your feet off where you get.
No. I just might not talk during the event. I might be. Everyone will be like, dude, he never shuts up. In an event, sometimes I never say a word. But, dude, bring everything you want. They're like, whatever you want to bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it. I'm not worried about my boat is my tool. Use it, like whatever.
I'm someone.
Do whatever you want to do on that deal. I might not speak to you, but it's not you. It's just
I'm focused.
yeah. That's just me.
I got a job to do.
That's yeah. It's not. I'm not out there going.
No,
we're not out there fist bumping, going, "Hey, aren't you excited today?" No, man. This is I do this 150 days a year. This is just another day.
Andrew and I talked about it, like what's
to
going
do
on
work.
down here, and we decided we had the exact same question you had, and we were like, hey, I think there's more bad boaters than there are bad
Yes.
coiners, and we all agreed that that's the case.
And I actually was telling Holman about a couple of situations where I fished as a co-angler. One at Texoma,
Yeah.
that one that
And
I
we
practiced with you,
me, yeah.
and I had that guy on the second day that just like went absolute crazy on me because I could cast better than he could. And he pulls up behind this dock and he makes like 5 or 6 flips back in this dock on this brush pile. And he turns to get the boat away and he's like missing every flip. I mean, he's like landing over the dock. And me and you practice every day. So like I was skipping everything anywhere I wanted to. And I skipped it back and he's like, oh my God, it's such a great cast. Next dock we pull up to, he flips over the dock, I skip it and he starts MFing me asking why I'm fishing his brush pile. And I'm like, well, you turned away from it. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. You didn't communicate that you were going to refish the brush pile. But I think that happens a lot to co-anglers because they have...
The good ones.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just kind of like, what the heck, man?
Like Jared West, Brent, like all these guys I fished with, Gilbert Harold, who I practiced with.
Gilbert's been doing it for a long time.
Right, Gilbert practiced with me this whole time.
Good.
But these guys tell me
man, Gilbert.
Yeah, they tell me these stories.
Yeah,
and they're always beating their pro, but they tell me these horror stories, man.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times they're like, I'm like, hey, what'd you do? I'm like, he goes, I caught 11 pounds today. I'm like, oh, really? He goes, and then they tell me, I have no idea how they catch 11 pounds.
Yeah.
Because they set on one deep spot all day long. And I said, what's your butter have? He goes, 10. And I said, so y'all sit out there and you caught 11 pounds, you caught 10, and y'all sit on one spot all day long. Yeah, for like 12 hours, like 8 hours. I go, you're the most incredible fisherman I've ever met. The fact that you can actually catch, like I would zero out there to sit on a spot that's that bad that where you're going to catch 10 pounds on. And they do it. And here he goes, yeah, I mean, I fished the same 50-yard stretch all day long. What'd you do? Well, my butter had 2 fish and I had 3. I'm going, and y'all sit there all day long? Okay. That I don't care what coin you have. If you draw a boater like that, that sits on one spot all day long, or a 50-yard stretch, and he goes, well, I had like 2 bites here in practice. I've heard all the stories. Yeah. And I'm just going.
You don't hear as many pros saying, man, I had such a bad coin. I might have a bad coin once every 2 years. Maybe once every year, depending on.
No, you have more than one.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like it's very.
They're
rare.
bad, but they don't. They rarely affect you.
Exactly.
You might have a bad one, and when I say a bad one is that like, I'll be honest, they might like talk too much, or they might do.
I don't consider that.
I don't consider that bad either.
That's right.
But they don't affect you in your outcome of the event.
No, they're just frustrating.
But bad boaters affect bad coiners in their outcome.
Have you been labeled a bad boater?
Oh, guaranteed.
By some?
100%. And I know why. I'll tell you the number one reason why.
I probably have. I mean, I don't know how.
I know I have.
I'll tell you the number one reason.
Flipping tournaments, I probably had guys crawl out the back of my boat.
Sight fishing tournaments, I know that's where.
Sight fishing probably same thing with me.
Yeah.
You know, the guy.
Well, yeah, but I've had so many guys. I don't care if a guy says that because the Randy Hicks story that I was telling.
Yeah.
I sight fished the whole time, and Randy Hicks,
Tom and I both have
bad
guys
ever.
that we've like,
No, I fished too fast.
No, but I mean,
Guaranteed,
we've had guys that
that's
we
the
were
number
like,
one thing.
catch that one because we're just rolling. Now, I'm not stopping for
No,
you.
I have.
But there's a free powder that
No,
bite
I
first
have.
cast.
Hey, the tournament, I got second. The coach on where he won, and I got second. I forget my co-angler, but I would point out fish, and I would stop and be like, "Hey, dude, I'll tell you when to set the hook."
The Toledo Bend event that I won, when Rick, he was in first, I was in first. We go in the last day. I said, hey, just be patient with me and I'll get you your fish. So I gave him a weight bait. He caught a bunch of fish on that in the morning. And then I went to catch them. That was the day I broke down.
I was going to say, is that after you got their boat?
Yeah, that was after 3 hours of me breaking down. So I didn't get to fish till 10 that morning.
He runs up to me and is like, hey,
and
man,
he didn't have any
gas?
gas. Yeah, no batteries because I borrowed any guy's boat who he didn't charge his boat. He wasn't fishing day 3 and he didn't put gas in it. and that's the boat I went and borrowed. And then all that stuff. And as I had them pretty good, and I was just going around looking. I'm like, hey, throw right there. I said, I'm not slowing down. You got to catch them on first cast. And about every 10th one, there were so many of them. I'm like, throw right there. Throw right there.
That's when Toledo was like,
yeah, it was good. And he flipped over there, and he's like, catch one, and he freaking won the event.
So let me fast forward on this same deal, okay? This same guy that he's talking about, 2 or 3 years later, is in the back of my boat,
Rick,
on day 3 at Lake Texoma, and I'm sight fishing.
I know who you. Yeah.
And I've got 20 pounds in the boat. I've caught a 7. I mean, like, I'm having a spectacular day 3. I just caught a 7 like an hour and a half ago, and I pull up and I've got 2 4s on a bed. I turn around, I get all power pole down, I lock down, and this giant, like there's 2 4-pounders there, maybe 4.5, and this giant carp swims right up there in the middle of it and just sits, and I'm like, and I'm pretty good ways off of it, and I'm like, what? Why don't they run that carp off? I mean, this thing's huge carp, right, next to these 2. I mean, it makes the 2 4-pounders look little. And I'm like, oh my God, that's not a carp, that is a bass. Rick's in the back. You know what he says about the time I see this fish? He says, I did this with Todd. He just point them out to me. And I can catch one. And he can just point one out to me. He said, I said, this ain't Toledo.
No,
this is Texoma. There's not that many.
Yeah, there ain't that many.
He's in the back. He said, Todd would just point them out to me. I was like, dude, we've seen like 4 fish in the last hour and a half, 3 hours.
When I drew when Randy Hicks, so there was another sight fishing event on Rayburn, and it was on day 2, and I went Randy hit my Coiner, caught the biggest bag of the entire event from boat or whatever Coiner. He caught 26 pounds with me, and I sight fished the whole time. And on day 3, I remember I went out there in my Coiner. I don't know who he was, but he sat down like this in the back of the boat, like this the whole day. And he was pissed that I was sight fishing. And I said, hey man, you do realize, my guy yesterday caught the biggest entire bag of the entire event, boat or Coiner, whatever. And I always explain this to people. I'm like, look, I'm sight fishing. There's a reason why I'm sight fishing. It's because there's more fish around me than anywhere else. Right. This is where they're coming. Right. They're all out. I'm fishing for 10% of them. There's 90% of them out there waiting to come in. And I don't know how many times I've been there, and I get so mad at. I'm not gonna lie, I get so mad at Coiners, and every once in a while I'll do it. I'll be going down the bank. I've done this a bunch, and it's worked 100% of the time because it's easy. It's not hard. And I'll be going down the bank, and they'll be throwing down the bank. I'm like, hey dude, don't throw it down the bank. Throw it on the other side. And they think I'm trying to tell them where to fish. I'm just trying to help them out. I don't do this anymore. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm trying to help them. And I'm like, throw out the other side, and they don't listen. So I'll usually pick up something like a freaking just a little caffeine swim.
Caffeine shad.
Caffeine shad. No, not a shad. A swimming caffeine shad. And I'm just like, hey, watch this. I throw it out there. Within 3 or 4 casts, boop, catch one. Look. There's 1,000 of them out there. I promise you. It's Rayburn. Or most of these lakes, they're all trying to come right here. And they'll look at me and I'm like, you can do this all day long. Stop throwing where I'm throwing. Throw out there, you will catch them. I promise you. Because we are sight fishing in phenomenal areas. The best areas on the lake is where we're sight fishing. It's where all the fish want to come.
Yeah.
And the guys that listen, and you need to do this on your video, the guys that or the guys that understand this, crush them behind me sight fishing. Crush them.
Hey man, I was with Todd. He just point them out.
Or they go to Bonds and just throw a whopper pot and be like, hey, give me grass at noon and get ready.
Hey, but that's my point. He was so ready to fish with Jason on the final day because he was like, I'm going to crush him with Jason.
He did. He's like, hey, are we going to be around some? I said, dude, we'll be around grass. I said, I'm sight fishing. He said, all right. He said, he said, that's what he said.
Ready for
He said, please have me around grass at noon. I said, we'll be around grass all day. Okay.
You just had a butt whooping. It was about.
And he smoked them. I mean, he
blew the tournament out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He blew it out, man.
All the good
But he was a
pointers
good, like he was
that
good.
way.
Yeah, he knew what was up.
He was like he did, and he didn't complain. He never complained. He got a little bit anxious, you know, like
He was
nervous.
He knew it was coming.
Yeah,
He
I
just
mean
wanted
because
to
he was
throw
like,
a roll around.
yeah, because I was burning the banks, you know, looking and he ain't got any bites.
Yeah.
You know, but he like I'm telling you, it wasn't 12. It was 11:45 because I remember looking at that clock. It was 11:45 when he got that first bite.
You can feel it when it's coming too. You know what I mean? When that
Yeah.
coiner gets in your boat and you're like, I had Ed Melton one time on Lake Travis. I caught him really good the first day flipping the jig. It's just all flooded bushes and stuff. It was real flat. Y'all know Ed, he's a big Rayburn guy. He gets in the back of my boat, right? First day guy was flipping behind me doing all this stuff in the bushes. Bushes as far as you can throw, kind of like Rayburn, right? Oh, Ed jumps in there. He ain't even caught a fish yet. Y'all know the feeling I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This guy jumps back in my boat and he's got his braid on and his frog. I've been flipping. It's like early pre-spawn. He fires that sucker, 100 yards back in them bushes, He goes to twitching. All I can think is,
It's gonna
about
happen.
3 casts and you're thinking, whoo.
It's gonna happen.
This guy may actually have me throwing a frog within a couple hours because it is about to happen. He's fixing to get unloaded on him. And it did. He caught him.
Oh, he got me to throwing that whopper plopper the last 2.5 hours.
And
I didn't catch nothing. He smoked them behind me. I didn't catch one. I didn't have one bite or anything. I hate the whopper plopper. I throw it a little bit now, but I hate it for the most part.
Tell him the speech that you gave me after he started whooping. You were like, well, I'm pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I did. I was like, the hell, I can beat this guy. I felt like I could. I thought I was that good. I was like, man, I got the same thing tied on in my boat. I was like, I haven't touched it all week. I was sight fishing. And I was like, man, but he done caught a 5, a 4, and a 3 in about 10, 15 minutes. I was like, I can do this. I'm that good. I'm better than that. Nope. Not even close. I never had a bite. I don't know how many times he caught them behind, how many fish he caught behind me, right where I just threw, how many times he called. I never caught another fish.
Most co-anglers can't beat their pros doing what the pros doing. And most pros can never beat their co-anglers doing what their co-anglers
That's
doing.
right, yeah.
And if co-anglers, like the good co-anglers, and when I'm being honest, with the good co-anglers that get in your boat, and I always say, I know when I have a good co-angler, is if I'm facing this way and my co-angler gets in that boat and faces the opposite direction to me, I'm like, he's gonna catch him.
Yeah.
And he starts throwing out there.
That's what I keep preaching the back 180.
Metter, yeah. Okay, so, and me and him.
It's because every time you jump up, the world's yours this way.
That's
right.
The world's yours. Whatever you want to do.
I met Matter. Holman won this event. I was in, the first time I ever fished Grand, I was leading the event. And crushed him on day 1. Then Holman wants to go out there and show out on day 2. Big whoopity-doo. And then day 3 rolls around, and I drew this guy, Matter. And me and Matter to this day are like phenomenal friends. But I get up there and I'm like, all right, man, my co-angler's zeroed for 2 days. So he's like, oh, it'll be all right. And I'm like, no, like, it's going to be tough, but I think you can catch it. He goes, I'll be cool. I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. Okay, cool. So we go out there on day 3, and he did. He gets his little Carolina rig and his other little deal, and he just bombs out there in the middle of nothing. And I mean, he's about every hour, catch one. I'm like, dang man, you got a limit. And he's like, yeah, it'll be all right. And I'm like, dude, no one's caught a fish with me in 2 days. He's like, oh yeah, I'll catch him. And he did. He won the event. He's won.
I know he's
at
won
least 2.
I know he's won 2 of them when I was down.
Yeah, he's won 2. I mean, but like the guys, he practices with me all the time. I'm like, hey,
That's why I started the episode. So then the guys will get on there, some of the comments are like, well, you can't tell me it doesn't have to do with the draw. Because what if a guy does this to you? What if a guy does that to you? Look, I mean, like, some of it, maybe a little bit, but you're just talking about for an hour or 2 of the day, but like the rest of it, like
the guy that here's the other thing. The guy that drew Jason on day 1 had a better chance of catching a bag when he caught 5 pounds than he did when he caught 34.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, he did.
And on day 3 when the guy was like, I guess we're Cody. He told him, he said, we're not going to that spot. And Cody for a little bit thought his tournament was over because you would zero. What I'm about to go do,
you stand a chance.
You can stand, and guess what?
He got second.
He came in second. He did good because we like there's times when they think like, you ever notice when guys catch really big bags, a lot of the times their coiners don't?
Yeah.
Sometimes they do.
You know, it just depends on what it is.
It just depends on what
if
it
it's
is,
a tight
correct.
spot specific, or if it's a 360 deal. You know, anytime you get flat, shallow grass, like what you did the last time.
Sometimes we're the worst draw, sometimes we're a good draw. It just depends on what. And it might not even be. It might if we.
It can even be sight fishing as a good draw or a bad draw.
Yes.
Depending on the lake we're on, like Texoma doesn't have 50 fish in a pocket, like say a Toledo.
No, Texoma's still okay.
Rock Hall.
Yes,
but you know what I'm talking
yeah.
about. Like they
Yeah.
weren't just everywhere, especially in that event.
Table Rock was like no.
Oh,
No. Toledo Bend, the one that I was leading. I think Russell won it. I came in third. Our coiners was all 0. Everyone.
Yeah,
it was a horrible. Like no one.
No, but that was the same one I caught him in.
You caught it. Yeah. You finished
because my
fourth or fifth. Fourth, right?
And
behind,
my
yeah.
coin where the last day picked up a dang A-rig and threw it out in the middle.
Yeah.
Like he just started throwing it out in the middle, like while I'm sight fishing, and he crushed on him.
Yeah, but
no, nobody else caught him the rest.
No, it was like a sight fishing event,
Yeah,
and it was just so hard to catch a fish.
I've had on those sight fish, like Todd said, a bunch of them turn around and just at 11 o'clock they turn around and sit down. I caught 32 pounds in a BFL over there, and my cone at 10 o'clock he turned around and sit down.
You don't do it on Rayburn. I've never seen
And
Rayburn.
it was on Rayburn. All he had to do, I kept telling him, I was like,
Rayburn.
take a Cinco and chunk of Cinco out there while I'm sitting here, and I'm gonna be most of those fish. I'm gonna be sitting there 10 to 20 minutes on most of those fish on Rayburn. A lot of them.
Rayburn, 100% of the time, 100. I'm gonna say this: 100% of the time you can catch fish when the guy's sight fishing. 100%.
Yeah,
I've seen Toledo where you couldn't. I've never seen Rayburn where you couldn't.
The guy at Table Rock, Todd knows. Like Todd's seen it. This is why I got labeled from. I guarantee from this guy, I got labeled a bad boater from this guy, and I did nothing wrong. I told him what I was doing. I'm sight fishing. That's my job. I'm going to do my deal. Your job is to catch them out of the back of the boat. You're going to be around them.
Mm-hmm.
And Table Rock had them. All you had to do was fish for them. All you had to do was fish for them. And I would go and like those.
Andrew Upshaw, Ned rigged them up.
They did not. I mean, like literally, you could sit there and catch every fish you needed to catch. Because a lot of those fish wasn't easy at Table Rock the last day. There wasn't. So you was there for a while. And that guy, Todd seen him. I guess about 9 or 10 o'clock we run across each other. He goes, "This Todd's boater." Goes, "Well, you got him?" And he goes, "I got one." He's sight fishing, just with an attitude.
My guy
Attitude, for no reason. If you have an attitude because your boater is doing something that you don't want to do, you need to go get a boat and you need to go fish at the front of the boat.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. If you have a problem with what that boater is doing, go buy you a $70,000 boat and you take the chance at the front of the boat.
Because like Matter, I'm sorry. Okay, like that dude don't care.
I know.
So
and all the really great ones are that way.
Yes.
I mean, I drew Brian New at Beaver Lake.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it was bad.
I would never.
He had 13. I had 9. And what's 13? Let's just say is a giant bag on Beaver Lake.
Yeah.
And he's shaky heading behind me, and I'm shaky heading. Like we were literally throwing the exact same bait, and I would throw up there and catch a 13 or 14 incher, and he'd throw up there and catch a 2.5, 3 pounder. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like I'm literally shaking my arm the exact same. It didn't matter. But the fact is I was like, how do you go out there and just catch them with every guy that you go with? He said every day he approaches it as it's a brand new day, like he knows absolutely nothing what's going on. And he throttles his expectations based off of whatever the day is. So he doesn't have too high or too low of expectations. So if he goes into the tournament saying, man, I'm going to bust him because I had this great practice because he practiced with Brian Thrift. I'm just going to bust him.
Every day is good.
Which is everything's great.
Yeah, everything's great. Yeah. So he goes into it. He draws a guy that absolutely isn't on anything. He goes into it saying, you know what, I might not catch 1 or 2, 3, whatever, but I'm just going to fish whatever's in front of me. I'm going to fish whatever condition that guy's on, and I'm going to try to get 5 bites.
Right.
No matter what.
And now he's going to go fish the elites.
And now he's going to go fish the elites.
And that's my whole point of the
classic.
series. It's like that's the attitude.
Yeah,
that's the
absolutely.
one. Like no matter where it stops, because you don't have control over where it stops. And like you said, if you're gonna be mad about where somebody else is stopping the boat,
Or the
it's
way they're
rules, they
fishing
have
or
control.
whatever.
They're taking the
That's
boat
right.
wherever they
You're
want.
already beat.
You're already.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to make the best of
That's
what's
right.
there.
That's right.
So I couldn't do it. I've said it a thousand
I
times.
used to feel
couldn't.
that way. I used to
You
feel
think
that
you
way.
could?
Once it
Oh,
took me
you've
a
been
long
doing
time.
it though. You've been kind of doing it.
Yeah, I
In
can
your
get it.
series.
I can get it. Like I get it. I get what the game is. I get what. It's a different sport. Like it's not team tournament fishing. It's not pro-am fishing out front of the boat. It is basically how can I make the best out of the back 180? Like fish water. That is the game. And once
Oh,
you
God,
accept
good.
that as the
No,
game,
they're good.
and that is the game, then those are the guys that excel. Those are the
I
guys.
They
think
always
I'd be
excel.
alright with it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Would you?
with
Yeah, you'd be alright.
I think I'd be alright with it. Now.
I wouldn't.
I would now, but I wouldn't have then.
I wouldn't have either. It's taken me a long time to, sit and watch
So
what
so
happens.
I've only fished one cleaner event in my life, and it was on Livingston, my home lake. I was 16, and I drew Randy Melinder.
I can see you back there preaching for the troll boat.
No. I was 16.
faster.
I was 16, and I drew Randy Melinder, and I'm cool with Randy. Me and Randy are so
Yeah.
like cool to this day. I didn't know him at the time. I didn't know who he was, and I drew him on day one, and we go to these boat docks. I'm like, oh, I know these boat docks. Like in my head, I'm like, yeah. We go to them in the morning time. Well, on Livingston, they got a bulkhead there, and there's rocks underneath the water there. You can't see any of the rocks. None of them. They're all on the bulkhead. So he's I'm not, whatever. He was worming the docks. I just pick up my spinnerbait and start throwing it up there that morning on the rocks. And it was Terminator spinnerbait, man. It was the first time, like Terminator. I got one from Jesse Parker, Lake Fork guy. Man, like Terminator was like, they weren't even out yet. And he gave me one, and it was like, it was a prototype deal. And so I was throwing it up there and figured, catch one, go around the next time, catch another one. And I'm like, I got two in the first 10 minutes. And Randy's like, what? Like, what's going on? So he digs around in front of, and I watch him. We're out there, out there in front of the dock. He's digging around. He's like, looking at my spinnerbait. He's like, man, I ain't never seen one like that. I don't even think I got anything close. I'm like, it don't matter. He's gonna get a spinnerbait out there. He picks up a spinnerbait, because it's Livingston.
Yeah.
They're gonna bite whatever, and I just sit back there going, and I couldn't do nothing. And I'm like, oh, that sucks, And then he goes and he worms the same boat ducks all day long. He catches them. He makes top 10. I caught my 2 fish. That's it. I did catch like a freaking 40-pound catfish that day because I'm good at catching ops. And so I catch that.
Ops.
Yeah. Opelousas.
Oppos.
And so,
I'm good at catching
You're
ops.
good at catching alligators too.
oh, watch this.
Ops.
So anyways, yeah.
This place got alligators.
And,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
big ones.
Really?
Yeah,
Vegas.
but listen, I got done with that event. And I
Mexican
go,
alligators.
I'll never fish another Coinger event in my life. That was the last one I ever fished because I was like, I could have done that. And so in my head, I was like, which is no big deal, right? It's like, hey, I think I could have done that. I'm going to go ahead and fish the motor side.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. It was an easy decision.
That's exactly what I was telling him. What happened to me in what I consider my first one. The guy was like, "Well, you should just go if you want to do it, you need to go to the front of the boat."
Just
Because I
go
tried
do
to
it.
get him to go to some fish on Toledo, and the next one I fished, I got second and lost by now.
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right, I can do this shit."
It's not a knock. It's like, hey, if you don't like being on the Coinger, go fish the other side. Like,
Yeah.
there's not go do it. It's awesome. Like you might have way more fun doing it. I bet you might.
I would.
If your attitude is that way,
What?
fishing back, I've never.
no, I'm saying if your attitude is that way, you might as well fish the other side.
I mean, because my deal was like on Toledo.
Big ones.
On Toledo, like I'd actually practiced. Like I was that
Solid
point where
team.
they would
Right.
and I was on them. And the guy stops like a mile away from where I was catching them.
Yeah.
And we caught one at like noon, and I was like, man, like I got a spot, like we can go catch them, like catch them. He's like, I ain't going all the way over there. If you want to do that, you should go fish as a pro. And I'm like, I was trying to learn something, but I guess I'll go fish as a pro.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. I guess
Nothing wrong with that.
and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I'd have loved to have actually like not been impatient and actually gone and done it a few more times and learned a little bit. But like I was very impatient.
I was too.
But I mean, it worked out obviously.
Me too.
But
yeah.
I would have learned probably. A little.
I never did.
I envy guys like New.
You got to fish with me, so you got to learn everything you need to
No.
know.
No, son.
LTC.
No,
LTC.
son. That ain't how it went.
Yeah,
That ain't how it went.
What about
ain't
what about
how-
that first tournament we fished?
They even have the same haircut and everything.
No, look, no, I can't. Nah, look.
What about the first
It's
tournament?
getting long.
Ooh.
What are you doing? Growing your hair out?
Ooh.
Showing the world you
Yeah,
ain't bald?
I'm not bald. No,
You're
man.
not showing the world
It's
you ain't
bad
bald.
though, cause like, no, I'm
I've
not
never
bald.
seen you with that much hair.
Ever.
What's that about?
Lazy.
Lazy.
And I was gonna. I mean, I might
Come
have a
on, bro,
mohawk. I might. I mean, you never know. I might
Everybody
get a
on there
mullet.
thinks you're bald. They're always making these
No,
jokes
yeah.
about you. I'm like,
I've
no,
never
they're
seen him
all
with
his
that
hair.
long hair.
They're all his
Yeah.
hair. He just changed it all.
That's good.
Someday you will go bald, and then you'll be wishing you.
Nah,
What about the first tournament?
You remember what we did?
Yeah.
What? Let's see if you get this right.
I'm an LTC.
LTC, baby.
I brought him to some horrible stuff, deep stuff, and we
He
didn't
did.
catch much.
We did. He
And
did.
then-
The very first tournament, we went and fished brush pile.
Yeah.
And then, like, after about the third or fourth hook set, he goes, "Oh, you can fish." That's exactly what you said. You go, "Oh, you can fish."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
Because we're both like one of my best friends. We all grew up in the same. We know each other. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna show you some frog fishing. And hey,
I was like, "Oh, okay."
yeah, I got right real quick.
It did that quick.
Like,
That
quick.
quick.
Dang, I feel bad. I never got to take them the frog stuff, so.
Dude, you got to go sight fishing.
We sight fished a lot together. Yeah, we did. Quite a few. Well, like, quite a few times. But not like.
We fished the next week after I won that one on Toledo.
Yeah. We got, what, second?
Well, we should come in second. We came in third because
Came
cheaters.
By, well, like, by 2
Cheaters.
ounces. Okay.
Cheaters. Seriously.
We fished a lot at Lake Nack together, though. Quite a few times.
Yeah, takes home a bunch.
Takes over a
Practicing.
moment, yeah.
Almost just got off the left. All right.
He's setting his fan up.
Vascular therapy's over. Done.
Getting ready for my bed.
He's gonna roll up on Todd and snuggle with
I'm
him.
good. Like, all right.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna come roll up on you.
Dude, I'm out. I'm out.
I look at these cameras.
Jason's like super jealous right now. He's like, dude, I wanna lay down in bed.
Dude, this is Mexico. Like, I love Mexico.
It is Mexico.
I can't believe we're down here. Can't believe we're down here.
Margaritas, Mexican food.
My margarita was probably the best thing I had today. Like all day
I don't know,
long.
that In-N-Out burger was pretty
The
good.
margarita was the best.
Dude, the dinner was pretty good.
Yeah, Mexican food was good. I can eat Mexican every
So
day.
what are we gonna do this week?
Oh man.
I sure hope we catch him.
Yeah, me too.
I'm serious. Like, I had really high expectations.
Y'all know how excited he was.
I was like, dude, I was really.
Well, I remember your like last trip that you had here and how great it was for you.
It was good. It was real good. But like,
Whew.
man, the way the water looked is what I was more excited for
Yeah.
Until
About-
we got here.
until we got here. And then like got there and I was
Mud.
like, mud.
Not mud. It
Well,
was
maybe we need
nasty.
to have that throttled cone or expectation. Be like, who cares what it
Now
looks
this
like?
morning when
Let's go
I
catch
talked to them, they weren't talking about mud.
No,
they
it
were all
was
excited. They were like, "Home,
Well, yeah, we were
this stuff's
doing that.
perfect. Bring your spinner baits. You gonna
Man,
love
right
it."
when we was on the phone with him, I made
gonna
made
kill him on
5
blade.
throws with the dang chatterbait.
No,
She
it was your
chokes it.
first cast, dude.
Chokes
It's
it.
your first cast with it.
Like
Green
choking.
pumpkin?
No, red.
Red.
Oh, really?
Choked it. I was like, oh,
I don't
this is
even know if
gonna
I
be
brought
awesome.
any red ones.
No, then he finally, then like we had a bite or two and some other things. I'm like, we had talked about this spinnerbait forever with Holman, and he's like, oh, I'm putting one on. He ties one on, like 5 casts with that one. He's like, freaking big old boil. He's like, oh, I missed her. And I'm like, oh. This is the last bite we had for 5 hours.
So are we gonna have like a competition against each other?
Man, I don't
Yes.
know if y'all
Is
want
it gonna
that.
be that
Listen,
bad?
hold on, listen.
I don't know if
Listen.
y'all want that.
Listen, hold
We
on.
never,
whoa, whoa,
neither
whoa,
one of us
whoa,
have been
whoa.
here, so.
Well, listen. If we do that, I think if we do some kind of competition, I'm just throwing this out there. Make it Thursday. That way you got 2 days of practice, and we got 2 days of practice.
Went through.
Huh?
Went through.
Well, today wasn't practice. Today
No, today was huge.
Elimination
practice.
Yeah.
Today was huge because we got to like
I-
we're gonna
yeah,
eliminate a lot of their like, hey, don't
That's
go,
right.
don't go here, because you'll waste your time.
Yeah.
We wasted a lot of hours idling around looking and nothing's there.
I don't even think I brought a bait that I could dive deeper than like 7 foot.
You don't need one.
That's right. You don't
7
know.
foot was the deepest we caught one.
That's right.
Okay.
No,
So
we got
where
some.
the drains lead into the grass, like
No.
anything that deeper.
Well, I don't know, maybe.
This is the longest backslinger therapy of all time.
No, it ain't.
He's already sleeping.
This ain't the longest one. We've been in the camp before.
How long? How long is it?
We nailed your jersey to the
No, it's
wall.
1 hour 7 minutes, man. It's,
I know I've been a part of
yeah,
something.
this long.
Like
Well,
an hour,
I
45
might
minutes.
stop it before all this, so it doesn't matter.
Almost tired. What about while ago I was tired? You was like, wake your ass up.
We're gonna win tomorrow.
See, once he starts cussing, it's over with. It's done.
Jason or me?
Or
Either
both.
way, What
They
time
say
is
it on national TV
Well,
now,
shit.
so it's not even.
Damn it.
It's not even.
can't cuss.
Yeah, but this is my channel.
My channel.
Mine.
Well,
Mine.
I'm about to take that sucker over.
Mine is my channel. It's my channel.
You don't ever get out of the way every time I catch a fish. You stand in my way. I need.
Quit
I need
catching
that-
them.
I need that.
Quit
I
catching
need
them,
the
let me
bag
catch
chesty.
We need a bag of chesty.
Yeah.
And we need a home and big stick.
No, that thing get my.
No, we are. We got Holman's big stick. That's what we
Big
call
Holman's
his
big
thing.
stick.
Holman's big
Man,
stick.
Holland's gonna kick. Hey. I'm not gonna tell you all this.
That's right.
I'm not gonna tell you all this. This is my video. I'm telling you all this.
All right, don't tell us.
Don't tell
Keep
us.
it to yourself.
No,